This is Karen with NewClevelandRadio.net, and it is time for The Rant with Barbara Rose Brooker. And we have not been on for a couple of weeks because Barbara's been very, very busy, and she will tell you a little bit about that. But I'm just going to tell you that there's a new book out there that we all can get out and purchase and read. But the big thing that we're going to talk about today is Age March, because this was Barbara's idea over 10 years ago. She ran it on a shoestring, and she brought people together of all ages, all cultures, and it's been growing. And we were very lucky, Barbara, that we did have a crew of Hollywood people who put together an online Age March celebration this year, because you wanted to celebrate 10 years. And how could we do that during a pandemic? We couldn't go marching down the streets of San Francisco and Cleveland and Milan and all over the world, but we could do it on the internet. And I'm so grateful that we did. And what is the number now? How many hits have we had on it?
Oh, Karen, we're up to 32,000 and climbing. And this is just in 7 weeks. And I don't have fancy publicists and all that. This is going by word of mouth, 32,000 on YouTube and climbing.
How wonderful.
And there's going to be a part 2 as well.
Well, we're excited about that. And something else that you probably don't even know, because as of this week, our podcasts, they're on YouTube. They're on just about every streaming format you can find. And we now are putting them on Instagram. So you know what, everybody, there's no reason not to see the podcasts. Absolutely.
This is wonderful, Karen.
Well, we're growing. And the reason we're growing is because of your show and shows like yours. You bring us a message that is so important. And I have to tell you that a couple of weeks ago, I went in for cataract surgery. And I was treated like a person. Nobody cared about my age. They didn't care about my color. They didn't care about my religion. They cared about why I was there. Very, very nice. But there was a woman like next to me somewhere. There was a curtain between us.
Right.
And I heard the nurses talking to this woman, and they were treating her as if she were 2 years old. Yeah. And my heart went out to her. We both were having the same surgery. And cataract surgery really only takes about 10, 15 minutes, but takes a half hour to prepare and a half hour to. And I said something to the nurse. I said, why are you treating the person next to me as if she doesn't know what's going on? And the nurse, who was being very nice to me, said, she's old. She doesn't understand. Well, I got livid.
Old and doesn't understand.
And the nurse, she got an earful. And so I want our listeners to know, we have to stop judging people. We have to stop assuming that because on our medical chart, it says somebody is 71 years old or 91 years old or 106 years old, they don't know what they're talking about. Talk to them.
Karen, we have to, as a culture, stop defining people by age. Stop defining people by race and sexuality and gender and age. Stop it. And I want to also say, New Cleveland Radio, I want to thank you, Karen. The reason people are talking about New Cleveland Radio and The Rant is because you are allowing honest, sincere voices to tell the truth. People want truth in this anti-age culture. They want truth. So I thank you for that. And yes, the first virtual Age March in history was March 27th, 2021. We had Hollywood Emmy-winning award producers. The show is available to see on YouTube and everywhere else. And yes, I'm thrilled. I never thought it would be climbing like this. And Karen, there's going to be a part 2 now. 2 other producers, Donnie Osborne, who is a genius, and Ben Rose in the UK, are going to be producing part 2, which is going to be much more powerful. And we will have a say in it as well, because I want everyone at every age to belong to this. Yes, it was my idea. You can say I'm the founder, but it's for everyone. You know, like Gay Pride Month, we need an Age Pride Month.
Absolutely.
Where everyone around the world will join in, every activist, every age activist. We've got to stop this compartmentalization and dividing and using ageism as a vocation, as a competition, instead of a condition.
Well, and we've noticed that there are a number of other people out there that, you know, have this same concept as you do. And I want to put it out here now as an offering that we all need to come together and work together, because we're all working for the same thing. Okay. You can have your own little groups. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then let's take the strength from all those groups and work together, because if we don't work together, we're not going to get the results that we need. And that's been proven, through history. So, you know, I'm just hoping that we can make that mark. And again, this should be going on way after you and I are no longer around.
The reason I'm so adamant about it and grateful to you to let me every week rant about this, I'm having my 85th birthday in August. And the thing is, when I leave the planet, whether it's 100 or 80s or whatever, I want to do everything I can now to get rid of this anti-age culture and these cliques. I call them age cliques, age activist cliques, holding up their books, how to be after 50, how to be after 40, how to be after, this and that. It's not about that. It's about social attitude and to love yourself at every age and not hide yourself. And what drives me crazy are the ads on TV. 24 hours a day. Look younger, anti-age products, this, that, the other thing. As I said, yes, I like anti-age products. I don't care about looking younger because I think age is a gift. Why should I go back? And then the younger are told to look older, and nobody is allowed to have their authenticity, their age. They have to mutilate their faces and pump them up to look this way and that way. I think we are sociologically very, very, very behind. And I am really tired of the age activist attitudes and the cliques. We need to join together. We need to do that and need to fight ageism. We need to go to Washington, Karen, and legislate against phrases like anti-age. We shouldn't have anti-age products. We should have pro-age products.
Well, and that's the truth. They should be pro-age because, all of us, we are changing in that part of life. Okay? Mm-hmm. And, you can go out and buy the most expensive so-called wrinkle cream. Okay?
Yeah.
But if your body, if your DNA is going to, produce more wrinkles or drier skin, yes,
Mhm.
there are some things we can do from the inside out to help that.
Nutrition, water,
Right.
attitude,
But for
everything.
the most part, we're still going to get wrinkles.
Of
We're
course.
still going to get, our faces are going to droop because
Of
that's
course.
part of living.
It's part of living. And you know what? What's wrong with it? What is wrong with it? I envision a culture. I think it will happen in generations to come where everybody will be integrated together at all ages. People in their 80s and 90s or even hundreds, and if they want a job, they can work if they're able to and they want
Absolutely.
to. People who can't, people have said to me, well, it's easy for you to talk about it because you're not in a wheelchair and you're working and you're doing this and that and the other thing. I said, you know something? It is an inner thing. It's not an outer thing. It's an inner thing. And just like with the healthcare system. When I was in the hospital in 2019 and I had pneumonia and I was in a couple of times, I hated, first of all, having to wear a tag gerontology. I hated being called an elder. I hated the labels. I'm a person. I'm not a gerund, blah, 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 blah. And I hated the baby talk. And I hated some of the young doctors saying, well, people your age get chills, or people your age, this, that. We've got to obliterate all of that.
Well, and it's interesting how you brought that up, because when I first found out I had the cataracts, okay, I looked at my doctor and I said, well, I guess I got cataracts because I'm getting older. And he said, some people get them when they're younger. Some people don't get them at all.
At all, yes.
And I said, oh, then I don't have to feel like I'm old because I'm getting cataracts. And he said, after you have the surgery, you're going to feel young. And I've only had the one eye done. I'm having the other one done tomorrow, but I can see so clearly out of my left eye that I'll tell you, the other day when I was out in the grocery store and I could see around me,
miracle.
I felt like dancing. Okay.
It's a miracle. Yes. To see the light. I know.
And, and I feel very lucky. I come from a generation of women on my mother's side that had what they would call peaches and cream skin.
Yes, yes.
My mother at 96 years old, yeah, she had some wrinkles on her face, but for the most part, her skin was smooth. But on my father's side of the family, my grandmother, who was very thin most of her life, she had wrinkles. And from the time I was a little kid, I saw them. And she wasn't all that old when I was a little kid. So that was part of her beauty. I never thought of her as, oh, having wrinkled skin, you're old. No, she was my grandmother. And I loved her. And I thought she was beautiful.
And Karen, what is wrong? What in the hell is wrong with having wrinkles? Look, I'm wearing, you see my turtlenecks? Sometimes I wear them very high. It's kind of my trademark. I don't like my jowls and my turkey neck. So I wear scarves and turtlenecks, but I'm not going to go get mutilated and cut up. I think what is wrong with wrinkles? In Europe, the women in my age group, when you walk down the streets, I was in Paris a couple of years ago, the older women are so beautiful. They're so chic. They have a presence. Their hair is gray. They have the wrinkles. Glamour comes from within. I don't care what anyone says. We know that. When I watch a lot of these TV celebrities and stars on some of these shows, the housewife shows and all those shows, and you see them season after season, the nose jobs, the skin, the new boobs, the hair extensions, they look ridiculous. They took away their original beauty. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. They can say what they want. They can say, well, look at her. She needs it. I mean, they can say what they want. Point is, there's a choice. We all have a choice. And I'm not going to step on anyone's choice. What I'm really trying to say is age is a gift. It's not a disability, as we know. And to really feel ourselves and to feel glamour and to enjoy our life and to have purpose, to have that purpose comes really from deeply within.
Well, and something else that we need to think about, some of us are hearing those ads on TV and then we think, we run into the bathroom, we look in the mirror and we go, oh my, they're talking about me. Okay. And we try to, look more beautiful based on that. But I've been doing something a little different recently. And on one of my other shows, I've been talking to a lot of people with various disabilities. Mm-hmm. Some are in wheelchairs. Mm-hmm. Some are little people. Some have, some sort of illness that makes them maybe shake or not look straight at you. All different. But these people, every single one that I have interviewed is loving life. They aren't paying attention to the people around them who look at them and go, oh, you're in a wheelchair, you can't do the job. No, and they're saying they can do it. And they're proving they can. And that's why we all have to come together, because we are not disabled people. We have abilities. And the sooner we start listening to our inner self and stop running into the mirror and saying, oh, how does so-and-so look at me? If you don't.
That's very important what you're saying.
If you don't like my hair, you don't have to like my hair.
Exactly.
But you like something else about me. Find that thing that you like about me and just don't look at my hair.
And do you like yourself?
Yes.
And I think what you just said, the inner self will reflect it all. And I'm going to end this conversation with one word: purpose. Purpose. Purpose is the key, in my opinion, to longevity. It is the key. I have been with people who were terminal, and I do volunteer work at San Francisco Shanti for this cancer support group. As a cancer survivor, these women have stage 4 cancer, and we've lost quite a few. What's interesting to me is the purpose that they still felt coming to the support group, writing letters to cancer, talking about saying goodbye to certain people, a light about them, wanting maybe to bake that cake with their grandmother's recipe. Purpose is everything, and we can't lose that. And anti-age tends to invisibilize, I don't know if there's such a word, people. And you can go to all the workshops in the world and spend all this money, in my opinion, and how to be, get a job after 50 and how to do this after 60 and blah, 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 blah. And you can read all you want and everything. Wonderful, wonderful. Good that things are out there, but no one can do it except for your inner self and connection to yourself. So Karen, I just thank you so much for not only your New Cleveland Radio's constant support of Age March, but coming Age March Part 2 which New Cleveland
excited.
will be a big part of.
So excited. Before we end, please tell us the name of your newest book.
Oh, thank you. The newest book that just came out, I'll mention too. Love Sometimes came out in March 2020, right during the pandemic. So it kind of fizzled a little bit. And that's about ageism in Hollywood. And then a book came out a week ago called Night Songs. And I've worked 2 decades on it. And they're prose poems. And I'm very excited about it. And it's available in bookstores and on Amazon and on Kindle.
So there's no excuse for any of us not to get the book. And what we can do is prove that you can do anything at any age if you set your mind to it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Karen.
Barbara. Talk to you next week.
Yes. Bye.